The upper house of Russia's parliament has approved the claimed annexation of 4 regions in Ukraine. The legislation will go to the Kremlin for the final stamp by President Vladimir Putin. The new law is being pushed through despite the UN and Western allies insisting it's illegal. It formally incorporates Kherson, Zaporizhia, Donetsk and Luhansk into the Russian Federation. It's based on the results of referendums held just over a week ago.
And according to a report by the Italian newspaper La Repubblica, NATO has sent an intelligence note to its member nations, and the note reportedly warns NATO members of the mobilization of the Key 329 Belgorod. The sources say that this submarine that was launched in the month of July is now in the Arctic waters. The Belgorod is the world's largest nuclear-powered submarine. It is reportedly 184 meters long and 15 meters wide. Moreover, it can also stay underwater for about 120 days. Now, the Belgorod is also the carrier of what is known as Russia's weapon of apocalypse, the Poseidon nuclear missile. The NATO is suspecting that Russia is in fact testing the Poseidon missile. The super torpedo is an unmanned underwater vehicle, more like an underwater drone. And reports say that it is capable of traveling up to 10,000 kilometers in terms of distance underwater before exploding near the coast, causing what is being described as a radioactive tsunami.
After 2 weeks of major protests on the streets of Iran, they have now shifted to universities as the new academic year starts. Hundreds of people have been arrested during unrest since the death in police custody of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini in mid-September. At Sharif University of Technology in Tehran, dozens of students were detained after fighting with the security forces. At other top universities in the country's largest cities, students held rallies despite security forces trying to disperse them. The supreme leader accuses foreign powers of engineering the unrest to destabilize the country.
I openly state that the recent riots and unrest in Iran are schemes designed by the US, the usurping fake Zionist regime, their mercenaries, and for some treasonous Iranians abroad who helped them.
As temperatures drop across the northern hemisphere, the demand for firewood and wood pellets is higher than ever in many parts of Europe. This comes as Russian energy giant Gazprom announced on Friday that it has suspended gas supplies to Italy via Austria, citing regulatory issues. Following the suspension of gas flows through the Nord Stream pipeline, there is now just one major pipeline transporting natural gas straight to Europe. Austrians are now looking to alternative forms of heating in a bid to stay warm this winter.
North Korea launched an intermediate-range ballistic missile eastward at about 7:23 a.m. this morning. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said it detected an intermediate-range ballistic missile fired from Mupyeongri area in the northern province of Chagangdo, and that the missile flew across Japanese airspace. It said the missile flew some 4,500 kilometers, reaching an altitude of 970 kilometers at a speed of around Mach 17. There is a possibility that their latest missile may have been the North's Hwasong-12, an intermediate-range ballistic missile that was test-launched earlier in January.
The killing of 2 Palestinians during a raid by Israeli forces has sparked outrage in the occupied West Bank. 16 other Palestinians were arrested overnight. Raids were carried out in the Jalazon refugee camp north of Ramallah. Israel says its soldiers opened fire after Palestinians tried to ram them with their car.
An attack by Islamic extremist fighters against Somali government headquarters on Monday has left at least 20 dead and 36 wounded. The Somalia-based Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the attack in Belgorod, a town more than 300 kilometers north of Somalia's capital, Mogadishu. Earlier on Monday, Somalia's government announced the death of a top Al-Shabaab leader, Abdullahi Nadir, over the weekend. The government said the attack had been carried out in partnership with the US military in southwest Somalia.
Now, stressing on the recent spate of audio leaks, PTI chairman and former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan has said that the job of intelligence agencies was to secure the country and not political engineering. The PTI chief's statement comes after a steady stream of audio recordings surfaced of allegedly candid conversations between the government figures in the Prime Minister's office. The audio leaks purportedly featured Imran Khan and his aides discussing a US cipher. The controversy surrounding the diplomatic cable came into light last week, where Imran Khan had accused a US diplomat of allegedly threatening a Pakistani diplomat in a meeting, who then informed the Foreign Office about it through a cipher.